Hey guys, welcome to our second Zoom on John Addison's Real Leadership book. So here we go with chapter 2. So this chapter is the people business. The people business. And here's the quote for this chapter is, "There is no limit to the amount of good you can do if you don't care who gets the credit." So that's kind of the premise of this whole chapter. Ronald Reagan said that. I thought that was pretty cool. He also said, "The greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. He's the one that gets the people to do the greatest things." All right, so this whole chapter is about making people feel important. And he talks about being a communicator versus just a great speaker and what's the difference. So a great speaker is someone that can get up and they can give a great speech, but they're not really feeling the audience. They're just talking to you. They're disconnected from their audience. So this might be a speech where someone is up telling about a new product, or I don't know, just where they're disconnected. You can tell they're not really passionate. They're just giving a speech. A communicator, though, speaks to you. They can kind of sense what's going on in the heads of their audiences. They know what they need to hear, and they connect with them. So as far as your plexus business goes, that's why it's so important to know your audience and know who you're talking to. If you're sitting in a room full of doctors and nurses, then you're going to tailor your speech around the health aspects of these products. If you are speaking to maybe a group that's all about the business side, or you're training your team specifically on business, then you're going to talk about the whole business side. And a great communicator can be talking to people and read their faces, read their audience, see which way it's going, and realize that either what you're saying is putting them to sleep and you need to change it, or that things are going really good. And so I'm sure that you know what I mean. I'm sure you've sat and been a participant in an audience where there's just a speaker and you're about to fall asleep, or someone that's communicating, really talking directly to you. It makes a big, big difference. So here's a story. I'll read it to you. It might be kind of small. From the book, it says, there's a story about a journalist in England in the late 1800s who went to dine with both William Gladstone and his rival, Benjamin Disraeli. All right, so these are the two guys that were said in the 1800s to both be upstanding people, very, very smart. And she wanted to see which one is the better man. So after talking with Mr. Gladstone, she reported, "I came away feeling he was the smartest man in England. But then I dined with Mr. Disraeli and quickly forgot about Mr. Gladstone, because after talking with Mr. Disraeli, I felt as though I was the smartest woman in England." So do you see how speaking with someone that's going to talk all about themselves and it's all about me and everything that they've done and everything that they've accomplished, you remember that, hey, they're a great person. Look at all they've done. But then speaking with someone that is there for you, speaking about, hey, what have you done? And you are amazing. Look what you've done, versus someone that's about themselves. And I know this is kind of common sense, but a lot of people don't know this. And so I love that this chapter covers it. Our business is about building people, not necessarily about building yourself. It doesn't take much to shine your light on others. You can't grow plants just giving them light once a month. If you planted a plant and it was in a dark room and it only saw the sunlight, once a week or once a month, the plant either would die or it wouldn't do very well, and it certainly wouldn't grow as good as the plant out in the sun, right? So take that analogy to your team and say that every other month you're congratulating them for something, or you tell them they do a good job, or whatever. Just think about them like a plant, and you want to nurture them and grow them. And so I'm not saying that every day you have to seek someone out and say, woo, look what they did. But you can certainly find times to congratulate them if they've signed a new ambassador. Obviously, we do really good when they rank up. We all obviously need to make them a graphic and tell them how fabulous they are when they rank up. A rank up gift is nice, and you don't have to go all out. It doesn't have to be expensive. Sometimes just a handwritten card can be pretty meaningful. So think about those things, and think about that you can send messages to people, lots of things that you can do. All right. A little praise goes a long way, but you have to keep going. Leaders shine light on others, not themselves. You are working for your team. They are working for you, so to speak. So the more you dive in and pour into your team and work with them, the more they're going to pour into what they're doing and then work for you. It's a very give and take relationship. When things go bad in your team, own it. When things go well, share the credit. So, I mean, obviously, none of us would be where we are without our team, right? If I didn't have you guys and my team, I would not be Sapphire. If you didn't have your team behind you working, you wouldn't be whatever rank you're at. And we know this. It all builds on each other. And the people above me wouldn't be where they are without me and my team. So giving them the credit obviously goes a long way. And, you know, if something happens, then own it on your team and say, oh, I messed up. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have trained you that way. Maybe I shouldn't have told you that. And go about it that way. But always own up. And this can go in your life in general, right? Not just with Plexus, which is kind of what I love about these books that we've done for leadership is you can use it in your entire life, with your family, with your husband, with your kids, if you have another job, with that, and just with the people that you come in contact with. I love that. So here's an action step. I want you to make a list of 5 things you can do to build up your team and shine light on them. So you might want to write that down. So what I want you to do is make this list, and then for the next week, I want you to pick one and put it into action this week, and then I want you to add that to your DMO. Now, if you're new and you don't have a DMO, DMO stands for Daily Method. Hello. I've totally, my train has gone from my head.
Daily method of operation.
Thank you. Operation is the word just said, totally left me. So something that you do every day for Plexus. So I have examples. I even have a worksheet I can send you if you'd like on what you're going to do daily for your business. And so if what you're going to do daily is only 15 minutes long, that's fine. It doesn't have to be an hour, 2 hours a day. If you're going to work your business 15 minutes a day, then you make your DMO and you make it for 15 minutes. If you're going to work an hour, then you make it an hour. Or if you're going to work 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the afternoon, then make your DMOs for those. So I want you to add this in. So 5 things you can do to build up your team and shine light on them. And then if you would, on next Sunday when you come back, I would love for you to share something that you did this week with your team that maybe inspired them, or just anything that you've done. So write that down, and then hopefully you guys will be back next Sunday and you can share those. And don't let me forget, Jamie will be leading next Sunday. I'll be on, but let's not forget, because I would love to be able to share what y'all did. And I would love if y'all came up with new ideas. You know, sometimes I feel like I keep doing the same things. So I'd love it if y'all have new ideas In fact, maybe y'all would like to share some now. If y'all think of some now at the end, let us know if you have a way that you shine light and you praise your team differently than you've seen done. I would love for you to share it at the end so that maybe we can put it into practice this week. That'd be awesome. You don't build a business, you build people. And then those people build the business. I kind of like that little play on words there. You don't build a business, you build people. And then the people build the business. Zig Ziglar, I love him. You can Google him and get all kinds of wonderful things. He's a pretty brilliant man, pretty smart. And so this week I would encourage you to be the lighthouse. In your light, others become illuminated. So at convention, a speaker was talking about you have an anchor and you have a lighthouse. And the anchor, it goes down, it holds the ship steady. But the lighthouse is there in the time of need. A lighthouse is always there, always on the alert. Anytime that their team needs help, anytime that a storm is brewing or whatever, the lighthouse is always there. So think about that this week. Think about how you can build up your team. This chapter was very short. There wasn't a whole lot to this chapter. I might should have combined it, but I didn't think about it. All about building up your team. You know, I think that people work harder for praise than raises, really. I mean, sure, you're going to work hard to earn that next rank, but when you know somebody appreciates you, and then you hear stories of how Plexus is changing their life, it just makes what we're doing amazing, I think. So find a way to excite your team. Now, if you're on this Zoom and you don't have a team yet, then you're going to work on following up with those people to get them signed up. But I still want you to do the homework of coming up with ideas on how to shine light on your team.
Tom, can you let her out?
All right. Do you guys have questions, or what have
Oh, no.
Well, I would love to hear anybody's ideas of what they're going to do to shine light this week, because I could use some new ones.
Yes, I need some new ones. So what do y'all have?
I think Carrie's got some good ones.
Oh, come on. Somebody share something. Jamie's
Call
sorry.
and pray with them.
What? I'm sorry.
Call and pray with them.
Oh, I love that.
Call and pray with them.
You could actually call them on the phone. Imagine that.
Yeah.
We are such phone junkies. Not a lot of people actually pick up the phone and call. I love that. That's a great idea. I love that. I'm gonna add that onto mine. Especially people that you know are maybe having a hard time. Go ahead.
Yeah. Find something about each person and praise them for the quality you see in them.
Good. I think it would be great if you could, if you know your team. And now, granted, I've got 6,000 people on my team. When your team gets big, well, they're not all active. Isn't that crazy? Right at like 5,800. It blew my mind.
Okay.
So I obviously cannot reach out to 6,000 people. But your levels 1s, 2s, 3s, the ones that are closest to you, your runners, the ones that are, if you have a level 4 that's ranking up and just all about it, these are the people that I'm talking about. But yes, those people that you could call, that would be fabulous. Get to know them, get to know what makes them tick.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else?
I'm trying to set up personal meetings this week. I've got a couple with my local team to reconnect. We don't see each other very often, even though we're all here.
That's great. And if you have a small team, meeting them for lunch, maybe once a month would be a great way. And you don't have to pay for their lunch, but just meeting them.
Yeah.
Mindy said spoil them with a lunch. That's always fun. I know at convention I took all mine out for dinner. It's a fun time to be able to get together and just visit with one another, share ideas. All right, anybody else?
I know Carrie and I are getting ready to go to Dallas to do some training, like some personal hands-on training.
In Dallas?
Yes. And
Yay.
possibly in Austin and San Antonio too.
Yay, good.
Yeah, we're planning a few road trips.
Well, let me know if y'all do San Antonio. That's 3 hours from me, and I can definitely meet y'all up there. I've got some other team people too up there in San Antonio.
Sounds good.
Over
It works.
Mindy just talked about doing a dream board. And if you have never done a dream board, y'all, it's fantastic. Do a dream board. Before I hit Jewel, I made a dream board. And it's so amazing to look at that dream board and see that I've actually done some of those things. So for sure, do a dream board. And I think that's neat. She said do a dream board party. So what fun would that be to bring some of your team members, your level ones, or the ones that are really working the business over to your house and with poster board and whatever and made a dream board. That would be a lot of fun. And then follow up with them on their dreams. Have them hang that somewhere and then follow up, monthly or every other month. I love that. Y'all can actually talk out loud.
I know.
Jamie, thank you, Jamie. Jamie says to do it early on so that they can see it. Go ahead.
Well, if I can see what a dream board looks like, that would probably be more helpful for me.
Uh-huh.
To know,
All right.
some.
Everybody that's done a dream board, we all post it on my Diamond Legacy page. Or if you're on Jamie's, post it on Jamie's so that y'all can see what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
I made a
collage.
Yeah, it's like a collage of your dreams. So say that your dream is to travel, or maybe your dream is to go to Australia or New Zealand. So you would put a picture of that. If your dream is to feed the needy children in Africa, put a picture of that. If your dream is to somebody's dream was to provide mobile showers for the homeless. I love that. So she had that on her dream board. If your dream is to move to the country and have land and have horses, then put that on your dream board. If your dream is simply to be able to not live paycheck to paycheck, put that on your dream board. So it's just things your dreams. So you can cut out real pictures and put them on poster board, or I made a graphic online with the graphic things, and I just, stole pictures from Google and stuck them on there.
Okay.
Look, Jamie's so on it. Look at that.
Oh, thank you.
There's Jamie's. So she wants.
Okay.
Oh, that's some random person. That's not you. Okay, so there you go. So house paid in full, college fund, travel to the beach. I'm guessing that might be Hawaii there.
Mm-hmm.
Officially retired, traveling, and debt free. I love that. And of course the Lexus on top. Love it. All right, anybody else?
Okay.
No, I like this. I like having an assignment.
You got homework. See if the
I
teacher
get
coming out
lazy
in me.
when I don't have assignments.
Well, it was in the book, and so it gave me the idea. I'm like, woo, homework. All right, guys. Anybody else? You have any questions over anything? Leaders Retreat? Anything that's going on right now?
I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.